As far as I can remember, when it comes to sweet spots, there's a number of sweet spots when it comes to watches. Sweet spots in the sizes, sweet spot in the price, sweet spot in the movement. But what happens when a watch already hits those sweet spots? Will there be anything left for you to enjoy? Well, Tool Watch Co. has finally come out of the woodworks and sent us another watch for us to review. And this, spoiler alert, hits all of the sweet spots that we want and then some more. So find out what are the things that I found in this watch that's really a supplement that may actually bring joy to many watch enthusiasts, despite hitting all of the sweet spots. Tool Watch, a company that strives for considered design, fair pricing, and eco-friendly products, embodies these principles in its watches. This TCP model is no exception. TCP, standing for Time Control Point, continues to preserve its vintage charm long after rally racing's golden age has come to an end. Motorsports enthusiasts are well acquainted with the legendary Group B rally race category, and this chronograph certainly captures its very essence. The case, a compact 38mm with those short and blocky lugs, exudes vintage aesthetics. It reminds me of older Heuers and Zenith chronograph watches, which are currently gaining significant interest, particularly among newer enthusiasts. The strap, with its racing holes and pleasant fabric texture, complements the case beautifully. The watch also feels incredibly light on the wrist, so much so that I mistook it as a titanium watch on the unboxing video. The operation is solid and secure, starting with the screw-down crown. This oversized component is easy to grip, which should have contributed to the water resistance rating. However, it only provides 30 meters of water resistance, suggesting that a standard push-and-pull crown might have been a better choice. A good choice, though, is using a VK64 movement that offers the best of both worlds. It provides that quartz accuracy, which is useful for sporting events, and a mechanical module to deliver that crisp push-button action. This rally watch accentuates the chronograph hand with a vibrant yellow color while maintaining the floating hands aesthetic. And from the back, the quick-release spring bars are prominently displayed, providing you a wide range of strap options. Our channel favorite Artem Straps provides a good measure of options that highlights how versatile this watch is when it comes to its threads. You feel like going Group B mode with your next picnic? These accented NATOs can be a good co-pilot. The black parts blend nicely with the dial and bezel, while these orange accents complements the chronograph decently. Now visually, it's better to have brushed hardware rather than these polished rings from Artem, or you can simply add your own scratches the old swashbuckling way. You want to class it up a little bit? These loopless sailcloth straps can do the trick. They add that subtle personality and texture while not overpowering the look. And here's an example of that. Once you add a large amount of color, it definitely outshines the case. Now, some people like this kind of effect, but this watch likes to have it a bit more reserved and toned down. Imagine that with any color, and now you can understand why it's versatile. The neutral tone of this case makes it possible for virtually any strap installation. And it's not boring either, because on its own, it's got that hint of playfulness, especially when the chronograph is running. Speaking of running, let's see how it ranks up against other chronographs in the wilderness that is called my work desk. On the tool watch front, there is a distinct appeal to this watch. Comparing it with other chronographs, the finishing carries a lot of the weight. When a watch is mostly mirror polished, the impression quickly sways the dressy side, like this 6030 chronograph. This rally chrono, however, definitely comes off as more utilitarian with all of the brush facets and lack of chamfers. Where Tool Watch shows its creativity is somewhat appropriate on the backside. Since both these watches are generic quartz movements, it's always best to cover it with these decorated casebacks. Of course, the feel for both functions are virtually the same engine, just different shell on the outside. Do notice how the black bezel makes the black dial appear much bigger because of the near seamless integration. It's a massive contrast to the 6030 that has these ornate second strap. Compared to a vintage Speedy Mark II, you can see how both belong to an era of compact proportions. The Speedy Mark II appears sleeker, but is actually a lot thicker compared to the Rally Chrono. This is of course because of the Lemania caliber inside with all of its mechanical gears. Do bear in mind that as much as this Speedy is multiple times more valuable than this Rally Chrono, it's still not as accurate as this more affordable quartz caliber. This vintage Speedy is what this Rally tool watch is trying to be. It emulates the mechanical actuation of its timing device, and also the wrist wearability being 38mm in diameter. And that's one of the major reasons why you're seeing a lot of these VK64 movements, that it's one of the most cost-effective and mechanical feeling watches all around. You also have a thing or two to say about this Rally tool watch. Min Kona Mike seems to like the 38mm, Watchwit praises the solid design without being a tryhard, and Melvin Ramirez wonders about that running seconds hand. Now, what's great about this is that all of these comments were answered by Toolwatch company itself. The wonders of online interaction. Toolwatch mentioned about that sweet spot, and that brings us back to what we mentioned in the intro. 38mm is indeed widely viewed as the current sweet spot for the contemporary taste. However, this watch is more than just a desirable case to mention. It offers surprisingly a lot of understated details starting from this bezel. It has a circular brush on top while offering a very glossy side. It's so good in fact that I mistook it as ceramic in my unboxing video. The strap too is very lovely with this rough texture on the front side and a nice brown lining on the back. The case back is very sexy in more ways than one, but it's really the amount of metal surfaces that really touches this watch pirate's heart. Overall, aside from the shiny PPT-coated bezel, there's really no polished facet here. Nothing flashy and mostly subtle, but now that's the other sweet part of this watch. Yes, the dial is very simple with virtually no applied element of any sort. This makes the dial very clean and helps you focus on the matte surfaces that's on the hands and loom. You know those people that joke about dried paint being boring? Those people know nothing about the joy that it brings into a watch. It's a cheap thrill that you can wear all the time. Then, shed some light on this dial and you're treated to this amazing vertical brush finish that I totally did not expect. This goes to show that you don't need to be extravagant all the time with your presentation to touch people's senses. Sometimes, some restraint can have the same impact. Small touches, such as this checker-cut chrono hand, brings out a little playful side to this very slight timepiece. And even from a distance, this accent color emits a charm that really livens up the whole dial. And that similar visual is replicated when the watch is blanketed by a dash of shadow. Yes, it's obvious that it's not the brightest of loom, but you can still find some delight with it. Another sweet thing to love is this gorgeous double-domed K1 glass. Right now, it has this great old-school sheen and amazing refraction. I say right now because in time it will develop all the scratches and aging on the surface, like a true vintage watch that it's trying to be and inevitably will be. So what's not to love with the Rally chronograph from Toolwatch Co.? First and foremost, it's the $395 price tag. Yes, it's already very affordable, but it's not watch pirate complaint resistant. Indeed, the company motto is to deliver great watches at third-hand pirate ship pricing, but there's so many options now in the market with better components from other micro brands. So much like the great understated details that we discovered on this watch, the watch itself is very much going to zoom past your radar amongst the pack of bargain chronographs that you'll readily see every day. The other thing is the lack of running seconds that is a common knockback with these VK64 watches. Watch pirates are typically lollygaggers, so pressing the chrono to see if the watch is working can be a chore to many of us. There are many legendary things that remain a mystery to many of us. Whether it's Group B rally racing or the Loch Ness Monster, you'll need to delve a bit to uncover the fascinating facts that you can enjoy. Perhaps one day, you can include the Rally Chrono from Toolwatch Co. in that prestigious yet imaginary list. Well, honestly, it's more likely that it won't, but at least you'll have a great, understated, and yet very affordable watch on your wrist. And that is the Toolwatch Co. Rally, and it's another VK64 chronograph, but despite being another one of these chronographs, it manages to be a little bit different, a little bit more exciting when it comes to its textures and surfaces. It's remarkable how they're able to do that at a budget-friendly price. And also, let's keep in mind, let's keep the old days, the Group B old days alive, guys. There's so much in history that's being lost today in racing, in basketball, in sports. The older days, we need to relive them, and if we could, bring them back as much as possible. They're awesome. They're awesome, manly, awesome sports, and I think this one also hits at those marks. It's manly to wear 38 millimeter watches. I'm telling you that. I mean, despite what people may say that it's too small, it's becoming a trend now, and small isn't necessarily wimpy or feminist, if I may say. Well, feminist has a totally different connotation nowadays, but anyway, that's a manly size as well. Well, it's because it's just that vintage trend, and I think Tool Watch Go was able to deliver that and then some with this beautiful watch. It's just, especially that dome crystal. I love that. So comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this Tool Watch and how the Tool Watch company is actually keeping the Group B legend alive.